Hi guys, welcome back to another Order Terraformacraft episode. Today I want to get started by planting the crops. I'm a bit late for it, it's actually almost June. And the strategy this time is going to be a bit different. So I learned last time that we can actually get more seeds from dead crops. So now I'm actually going to take the plants like garlic that are really good, but I have very little seeds of. Or I think barley is also quite good. And just plant them with the intention to actually not harvest them and wait for them to die and then get more seeds out of them. Okay, I think I'm just gonna do this with a couple of them. I think rice is something I don't have a lot of. Later, if you want to make sake, then it's gonna be important. Yeah, I guess those would be the big ones right now. It's also good to know, so I don't need to collect every single seed anymore, because we can, just get more at the end of the year. In the long run, I also want to make some cider, so I need green or red apples. I got a couple of the green or red apple saplings from my journey to Robos Island in the west. So I want to grow a couple trees with the intention to get more saplings out of this. The way you get saplings, I've shown this in the first episode, is to cut the branches, but the trees that I grew with a single sapling didn't really have more than one branch. Also tried splicing ones with this lemon tree here, and here it looks like we got more branches. So I'm pretty sure, I think I spent 2 saplings on this, we could get more saplings out. Should I cut it down? Yeah, for science. So I know I spent 2 on this if I cut this branch. There's a lemon sapling. And then I can cut this one. There's another lemon sapling. I can try it here on top. So already got 3, we made a profit. So it does work. Okay, then I can cut it down and actually try it again. Might be best if they have a bit more space. Yeah, so here it says this block will grow in the right conditions, time left 7 days, may be spliced. So in order to do that, you need to put the knife in your offhand, have another sapling ready, and then just right click it. Okay, so we'll definitely check up on this at some point. I want to do the same with the apple trees over here. I think I'm just gonna... Should I go for all the saplings? I can splice it multiple times. I don't really have enough for further testing. So I'm just gonna make spliced apple tree. Should I maybe splice the green one 3 times? I think you can go for 4. Okay, this is the maximum spliced one. Then... yeah, don't think planting 1 green apple sapling even makes too much sense. Let's maybe plant another one here. Just another red apple sapling with 2. And another one here. I mean, I'm just gonna grow those with the intention to get more saplings for the distillery later. Okay, then also got 1 more lemon sapling. Yeah, those can't be turned into alcohol in any way. I'm gonna grow another tree here anyway. Also, the book tells you that you're supposed to plant the rice underwater. I'm gonna test this as well. So got 1 planted underwater and the other rice here on the side. Here it says hydration, 84% is good. Maybe it also works without the water sources. Next project now is base building. From my last trip where I get the kaolin from and we first made the blast furnace, I got a ton of logs. So I need those chestnut logs in order to finish my house. I'm pretty sure I got enough. So that's the next project. I already dug out the basement, so the plan is really now to add walls for the basement, dig away another layer of gravel, have a floor, and yeah, finish also the first floor of the house and even a roof. We've got so much copper, and I actually just checked the recipe. 1 copper block basically only costs you 1 copper ingot. So we should also be able to put a roof on this. I've been at it for quite a while now. Building really takes some time. Let's check out some of the progress. So this section of the house is now finished. Got some nice windows, a little bit of sunlight in the day. And the basement also had a lot of progress to show. So the walls all around finished. I had to dig a lot. It was so annoying. And then the blocks were collapsing because of gravity falling on my create mod stuff and I had to replace it. But they're finally done. I was actually using the chiseled blocks or bricks. Those can be made just from the normal bricks, but chiseled. There's lots of different ones that actually all looking quite nice. And those are cracked bricks. There I just need to take your bricks and use a hammer. Okay. I haven't started with the floor because they want special blocks. I really want some smooth blocks. There are a lot of nice ones. For example, the smooth basalt, look at that. That's a fancy block. But it would also be fine using just the local dacite stone or andesite. But the problem is this actually requires raw stone. And this is so hard to get manually. I'm even thinking about making a machine. We could also get the raw stone once we have... Wait. Click through it. Once we have a lava source available, then you can just throw some cobble in front. But wouldn't that be a bit boring? I was actually thinking we could make some sort of a tunnel bore that automatically tries to gather the raw stone. So just a reminder, raw stone basically is one of the normal stones, and if it has air on all 6 sides, it just pops. So I was thinking we could make some sort of a tunnel bore that moves forward, exposes some of those blocks automatically. They pop and get collected somehow. Wouldn't that be awesome? Way more interesting than just throwing it in front of a fan again. So that would be something that I really want to do. Let's actually do that next. Instead of building the first floor, they haven't started yet. So we can finish the basement first. Yeah, definitely a good idea. So to figure the raw stone maker out, I definitely want to switch to the creative world because I could imagine in survival it's going to be absolutely horrible. Because everything just takes 5 times longer. I need to deal with cave-ins probably on top of everything. Machine not working. Yeah, creative world it is. Just so much smarter to do it here. Okay, so here's the basic idea. I want to have a drill, or a tunnel bore drill, that just drills into the normal stone and leaves some stone behind here. And then we would have pistons in the back to push the stone down one after the other. Like this. And then it drops as raw stone. Okay. It's probably not a good idea to actually do this in a sequence. It's probably much better if you have a shape like this in the end. Then we could actually just power all of the pistons at the same time like this. Push them forward. And 5 minutes later, I already run into the first major issue that completely wrecks my plans. So I just found out create mode is still really new to me, that mechanical pistons or create mod contraptions can't move pistons at all. They're basically like obsidian blocks or unmovable objects. So if I would try to push forward here, piston can't be moved. Also, if you would make some sort of a minecart contraption, glue this together, and the minecart is supposed to pick this stuff up. Ignores the pistons. Oh my god. So that's gonna be rough. Of course, we could just use a mechanical piston instead to push those blocks down here, right? But how am I supposed to do this actually? Because I need to, not only need to actually have it extend and retract, so I have some sort of a timer. You can actually move those extender thingies that I showed the last time. Those here, they can actually be glued to the flying machine, and then the observer that also gets moved with it would trigger those. But how do I actually supply stress units? I would need a movable stress unit generator as well. And the way I see it, the windmill bearing wouldn't work as well, because I need to cause it to spin by right-clicking it with an empty hand. So I can't move the windmill as well. The only thing I could maybe move would be a steam engine, but I haven't really gotten into that, and it would also mean I would need supplied with coal and need to move water and so on. That would be tricky. I could have those pistons get powered from a stationary source, but at some point I would actually just run out of render distance, or it would unload maybe. So that's also not nice. Now, another option would be we just create this type of thing here and run it to the tunnel bore of a couple 100 blocks, and then run a flying machine, a classic vanilla flying machine just over it. That's what I think about doing. This might be the better choice. Yeah. That's actually the better choice. Let's do that. If for some unknown reason I would actually need to try hard this and somehow make a contraption that does it all in one go, I guess what might work would be deployers. Deploy something like redstone blocks and pistons, and then a drill that mines it again and picks it back up. I don't know. Also always places an upwards facing piston. You probably would need a deployer facing differently, maybe. I'm not even sure. So I guess that might be a way to do it, but it's just so much easier to get this shape with the create mode machine and then run vanilla flying machine over it. Yeah, that's it. Now let's actually design the create mod tunnel bore. So of course I want a tunnel bore that doesn't only run over like 64 blocks that we could push forward with a mechanical piston. Ideally it should run a couple hundred or even thousands of blocks. So we need something that could basically run infinitely technically. So I guess the simplest way of doing it, and that was actually the first contraption that was ever shown to me by Robo, when we played together, is to make some sort of minecart contraption where we attach a lot of those drills to a minecart and just push the minecart forward. Then we don't need to supply any power to the drills, that just works. But of course the minecart needs rails to run on, and we're gonna replace those by deploy in the front that places new rails, and in the back we use the plow to pick them back up again and then basically create a loop. The rails are resupplied to the deployer in front. As far as I know, you can just actually take it out from a moving storage, but I would need to test this as well. Not entirely sure. There's just one problem that Robo didn't take care of. Of course, the minecart also needs to run on rails. In some cases, there's like caves in front. It can happen there's a cave and then there's no block to place the minecart or the rail on. And then, of course, everything would break. I was thinking the easiest way to deal with this issue is probably just have another deployer in front trying to place blocks. So I guess I'm just gonna attach a storage and give it some stone bricks. They can't burn and don't collapse or whatever. That he tries to place in front. I guess that's the way to go. Not sure if there's maybe a better approach, but that seems relatively easy. Apart from that, I don't see any major issues right now. So the worst thing, of course, would be something like a cobble generator that you would get stuck on. But if you look around in the caves, there is a lot of lava below, but usually there's never even a stray lava source or anything. It should just be easy. In case you run into water, this shouldn't affect the create machine much. We'll just keep flying. And also the rails won't be affected because they can even be waterlogged. So yeah, unless we would run into a cobble gen or something like that, I don't think it can break, but you never know. Probably will be surprised. Okay, let's actually set up this minecart thing here real quick and test it out. So we just need to glue everything together. So that should do the trick. Everything should be pushed. Not entirely sure if it's actually detrimental if you use more glue than necessary. Really don't know. And that should already be it. Let's see if this actually runs. Yeah, also punched a couple holes there. Oh, it actually failed placing. Oh, those don't get resupplied? Do we need a chute and a chest on top? Okay, didn't know this. I guess we do. I guess I gotta do some testing first. So I gave this deploy here 5 diamonds. There's 5 more diamonds in there and a couple of dirt blocks. Set the filter to diamond blocks. So let's see what happens. Okay, I definitely used all the diamonds. So we don't need a chute on top. Wonder why it didn't work then. And is there maybe a limit how fast the deployer can place stuff? Probably there is, but do powered rails work basically? Yeah, they do. I might have actually forgotten to set the filter. This might be important. Let's just try it again. Yeah, blocks are being placed. And now we're also drilling. But the minecart kind of stopped, right? No, it's still moving. So not entirely sure if maybe the minecart will run out of momentum. I was actually thinking about using powered rails instead. So this one here is still going, but it's really slow. Hopefully this one with the minecarts here would work. So here we need an extra deployer to place redstone blocks and a drill to mine them again. Because if you would just like attach a redstone block to the moving structure, it turns into an entity and of course can't move the rails which are not in entity form. Those are actual blocks. That's why we need an actual block to power them. Okay, I haven't tried this yet. I'm excited. Let's see if it works. I hope I glued it together correctly. Okay, here we go. Always takes a little bit to mine the redstone block. Guess that's the downside. But is it slower than stone? Don't think it is. I feel like it has a bit more power. It's definitely faster than the other one. It's gonna catch up quite soon. So I think the redstone block idea on powered rails is definitely a good one. That's basically already the whole contraption, if I think about it. Now we just need this drill structure here. You can have this on the side, I guess. And I have to see if you actually use the blocks from the chest in the inventories in the front. Not that we run out of powered rails or whatever. Guess I'm gonna run this for a couple hundred blocks just to be sure. Also, I checked the wiki just to be sure to get more information about all of this. So if there's a deployer on a contraption and you set the filter to that specific item, so in this case either the rail or the diamond block, then it will always prioritize those type of items from the contraption inventory. Okay, could probably even in the back add another drill. It actually drills down here and removes the diamond blocks again, and it would just pick it up, and then you wouldn't need to supply Eddie. Of course, you wouldn't use diamond blocks in survival, but this way you also wouldn't run out of those and could technically run it forever. But I was thinking it's actually kind of rare that we hit really a cave. You don't need a lot of blocks, probably, and I can definitely spare like a couple hundred stone bricks, for example. So it might be actually the best idea if you have a little walkway in the end. Okay, yeah, that's another issue in case the inventories are filled up. And it would drop a lot of the items. But here you can see the rail still gets picked up because probably there's still a non-full stack in there. So there's still space for certain items, so that's good. I was just thinking, since we get a lot of stone that we can also convert into iron and so on, we should just have a huge inventory attached. I don't know, maybe 60 chests and pick up all of the stuff we can get. Okay, so this is what the actual contraption should look like. Hopefully it's gonna carve out a nice slice of raw stone there. We need at least 2 blocks of space above. Just gonna go for 3, so I don't need to go fancy with the flying machine, the vanilla flying machine, to break the stone in the end. Okay, hopefully I glued everything correctly together. See if it works. Oh, of course I'm missing a block. That has to be glued to the other stuff as well. Looks like everything is glued together. Okay, minecart. Here we go. Why is this placing a diamond? Stop it. No filter set? No filter set. Ah. Okay, then I gotta move this one block further ahead. So that's gonna remain behind in the end. Blue. Still looks good. Everything just moved over. Second attempt. Looks a bit glitchy there, but it does work. Yeah. Okay. Here comes the moment. Will this somehow collapse, or will we actually have our nice slice of raw stone in the end? I mean, I don't think there's any block updates from the entities, or the big entity. Is it actually a big entity? Show the hitboxes. It's a huge entity somehow. What the hell? Okay. Didn't know it worked like this. And it failed already. What happened? Did it run out of redstone blocks? What the hell? I just wrenched the whole thing. I think I'm just gonna place it and break it. I did put redstone blocks in there. This is maybe just too close. Just gonna move it back 1 block for safety. Might have just made a mistake though. Okay. Hopefully this is set up correctly. Okay, second attempt. So I need this assembler thingy. Power it. There's minecart. Yeah, rest looks good. Let's go. It did look glitchy here in front. Maybe it's better. Like on the other machine, I actually had it also with 2 blocks. Maybe it's just better. Well, this might be a problem here. Let's see what happens if we dig through this. Okay. That looks scary. Ooh, cave-ins. I'm not sure if we're always gonna be lucky with this. This looks so scary. Basically, do have block entities. Maybe we should actually just have something in the back there that catches those block entities. I don't know. Like another row of blocks there for them to sit on or whatever. Phew. That looks scary. Oh my god, the other one is also still going, so even unloading this apparently is not a big problem. Let's see, I probably unloaded the big one as well now. There it is. Still going. That's good news. This one, on the other hand, stopped after a while. I guess the minecart somehow ran out of momentum. I guess the power rails are must-have. Okay, so yeah, worked for a couple hundred blocks, looks like. Here, by the way, in case somebody was hoping that we find tons of ores or whatever by doing this, doesn't look like it. Might run into some stuff, like here, traces of amethyst. Will be interesting to see in survival. So I'd say, yeah, let's build this actually, just a create mod machine. So we can carve out the raw stone. And then we can worry about the vanilla machine, I guess, in the next episode, because I need to get slime blocks first. And this is already a lot of work here. Okay, so now that the create part is working, I thought I'm just gonna quickly design the vanilla flying machine part. This shouldn't be a lot of effort. Got a working design here. It's actually slightly challenging because I thought I don't have access to honey blocks, no bees in this, but yeah, more about that later. So here we got the working design. We got a double pulse those pistons actually to make it work. There you go. You might have seen it. If you just push down, then it doesn't pop off. Guess it needs another block update. Whoa! Okay. I guess this might be the next issue we might have, but there's an even worse one. So I was under the impression I have access to slime blocks, but I actually don't. Let's take a look at JEI. I was also looking up honey. Can't get it either. Slime. So we can craft slime block out of slime balls, and I thought I have access to slime balls with this crafting recipe here, lime dye and dough. But then it occurred to me just recently that I don't have create dough. I have TerraFirmaCraft dough. So I wrote the modpack author. He's probably gonna change it. So dough, yeah, or slime balls will be accessible via TFC dough in the next update. But right now, I can't make the create mod dough. Didn't know they have dough in this even. So they have the same, basically wheat, crushing wheels to flour, and so on. But yeah, I can't make this. No access to vanilla wheat, basically. And wheat flour. Okay, so I can't make flying machine with slime blocks. There is a way to actually make a flying machine without any slime blocks. But first of all, it's rather slow. And it's such a monstrous machine, it's just not worth it. I'm not entirely sure what to do now. I guess this is a case where we have to go for the tryhard version. So we need deployers that place pistons, and we need deployers that place redstone blocks. So of course, the placement rules for pistons are pretty bad. So I already tried to place a piston with a downwards facing deployer, then a piston was facing upwards. If I try it from, yeah, an upwards facing deployer, then the piston gets faced downwards. But we can basically fly this thing under those blocks. Doesn't apparently give block updates, so that would be fine. And yeah, place a piston. Then of course this can't push down because there's the non-movable deployer below. So we're just gonna have like a couple of pistons here sticking out. and then a deployer places a redstone block, and then we just have drills mining all of this, I guess. This will be pushed down here, and here, here. It should break. Let's see if we can get this to work. I have a promising mock-up for the tryhard approach now. So you got a deployer placing the pistons facing upwards, and then redstone blocks below. So I decided to actually have the piston face upwards, because QC would be a problem if you do it the other way around. Okay, let's actually just turn it on. So I'm just using the mechanical piston to push everything forward. Yeah, so basically what happens is we push the whole thing forward. The first thing that happens is we actually place a redstone block here. And then this causes the other piston to extend, pushing the block up. In some cases, we might actually have some sort of an ore block or whatever that doesn't pop off itself. That's why we need the extra drill here on top to take care of those situations. Then this would also pop up eventually. Yeah, here we just drill into the piston, and yeah, once the piston is gone, then the raw stone would also pop off. Of course, we also have to mine the redstone block again. And then one problem is that the items coming from the raw stone that pop off will pop as vanilla items. And those need to be collected somehow. So I was thinking we could actually just have brass funnels here that can collect stuff. Maybe a bit to the back. So in case something would land on the contraption eventually, which would fall down. I think I actually need to have this one block lower, so we have a solid wall of funnels that collect everything. But of course, sometimes you have a cave below like this. So we also need deployers in front that always make sure that the items would land on ground, and then we can mine those blocks later again. Okay, so I think this contraption should work. Now I'm a bit worried about the situations where we have like a block remaining behind. We should probably have an offset between those setups by 2 blocks. Yeah, that's probably the way to go. Oh, it's gonna get huge. I don't have the materials to afford this even. I already spent so much time trying to design this in the first place. This would definitely be so much easier with the vanilla flying machine, but I've never seen a slime spawn in this cave so far. So I'm not sure if there's actually slime chunks in this. At this point I have to think there aren't. I guess this would be the mock-up for the full-sized contraption. Just have to glue it all together now and see if it works. Okay, this is it. Let's see if it works. It's gonna be a little bit scary. I'm not sure about this. I think we already have some blocks remaining behind. They might be unnecessary though. No, those are actually the ones I placed just to indicate where the stone is. Oh yeah, okay. So far it kinda works. I think those drills are on the wrong height. Oh man, I wish I could just easily change stuff now. What happens if I break the card? Pretty bad things. Yes. Oh, this is so hard to recreate each time. Oh man, good I haven't tried this in survival. Okay, let's try this again. For me, this is actually harder than normal redstone right now, because not only do you have to place every block correctly, you also have to glue it together correctly and not forget a single component of it. Okay, really hard. Let's try. So what I did differently this time was, I noticed that the drill mining the redstone block and the extra blocks were lagging behind for some reason compared to the mechanical piston contraption. Okay, let's see if this is gonna be different now. There's actually first raw stone. Some stuff pops off. Does this work somehow? It does, but not the way I intended it. Why are those not drilling? What? And now they just skip blocks. It's also not what I want. Oh man. And another attempt, this time again with a different drill position. It seems like it's just bugged. Because it always places like 2 redstone blocks in a row, and then a mine 2. Like, how am I supposed to get this right? Maybe if I move the bottom drill one forward, it's getting so awful already. I'm getting a little bit of marble, it all stays on top there, unfortunately. Something else I didn't really consider. I was hoping everything would fall down instead. And some of it does. That's definitely getting collected here. But most of it is on top here. I guess I could have another funnel on top as well. Oh, now somewhere falling down? It's really glitchy. Guess if eventually they all fall down before they despawn, it does work as well. Yeah, but those contraptions here, combination of pistons and whatnot, seems like they're just really glitchy. It's kind of hard to get it right. I mean, this thing kind of works. We could build this. I mean, that's what I wanted, right? So here you also have the deployers in front, placing the blocks. Make sure everything can be swept up, and then we got the drills in the back. Mind that stuff again. But there's a lot of resource gathering I have to do first. I guess at this point, this thing's just gonna go over it. Oh, this could be interesting. Let's actually run it a bit more in creative. See what happens with water. Well, we did get through the water just fine. So in our situation, we actually dug into a vein. So that's kind of interesting. It's still working. What worries me a little bit, I've seen like piston items on the ground. But I don't have an explanation why that happened. Why would there be piston items on the ground? They should be picked up by the drills. Oh, here's our next issue. The machine stopped because there was a stalagmite. Ah, okay, this is basically a block that we can't place a rail on it, but of course it doesn't get replaced by the diamond block we try to place. But this could all be fixed, I feel like, if you had another drill below. More drills it is, it's always the solution, right? Okay, one more try. This is actually not supposed to work. Now I gotta drill 2 blocks in front of the deployer. But you had this glitchy redstone block placement. Maybe it does work for some reason. Okay, then let's go. Yeah, it places redstone blocks. Does it mine them though? No. Yeah, this whole step is already so buggy. It always places 2 in a row. Okay, we're gonna run here out of redstone blocks real quick. I guess we have to deal with it. It's just how it is. There's actually another issue that I already see coming. So the deployers here in front, sometimes if there's a big cave, have to place a ton of blocks. And then it will take a while until the blocks are drilled again. So there could be like 3 or 4 stacks that are being used up. And in case the chest is actually overflowing, then there might not be space for the blocks I want to pick up. I was wondering if the deployer can also take items out of the toolbox, because there we can actually assign certain slots, so we can't pick up other stuff. So I'm gonna run a test here real quick. There we have a minecart, we have the deployer placing the diamond blocks, and a drill mining planks to see if those planks are being picked up somehow and put into the toolbox or not. Hopefully you understood what I meant. Let's see. Okay, so the planks are not being picked up. I gave the deployer, I don't know, it was like 4 diamond blocks. It seems like this is working. Just gonna stop this here real quick, then we can check the toolbox. So all the blocks from the toolbox have been used up, and yeah, the planks haven't been put in there. Okay, that's actually good. So we finally have like a storage block. They can be moved. We can assign certain slots just for block placing. And then we have the chests where everything else is being put in. That's actually really good. Okay, so it looks like this is gonna be the last test in creative. So I ran this whole contraption now for about 500 blocks, and it's still working. There are a couple issues, like you can see here. Blocks caving in, collapsing. Some are left behind in the back. So it's not perfect. There might still be some issues I could iron out. For example, I also now added funnels here. And I think in the end I'm also gonna add funnels on top of those drills to collect all the blocks, and of course the storage here isn't enough. I guess instead of using chests, I'm actually gonna use a ton of toolboxes, because then we have filled the ring immediately. It's actually gonna be so nice. And then of course some chests for the other items. I'm just not sure how to set up like a priority, so that certain items would go to the toolboxes first, but might be a bit tricky to set up all of this correctly. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna build this now in survival. It's gonna be a long episode, but usually people don't like it if I spend a whole episode in creative and then don't build it in survival. So that's just gonna be a long one. Gonna do some resource gathering first, gotta craft a lot of things, and then we gotta make some space to build this and run it. Back in survival, I got quite a shopping list, and I hope I have at least the raw resources for all of it already. So I need 15 more drills. I need 19 in total, even for a downscaled version. Then I need 20 deployers, I need 20 brass funnels, I need a lot of pistons and redstone blocks. Might be an issue. Making stuff is also not that bad anymore. For the deployer, I need a lot of those brass hands. So I need to make double ingots first. I can just throw the stuff in here, to the basin, go get the double ingots, and then I have to saw it into brass hands. It's at least a bit automatic now. I just crafted 30 more drills, and now I'm almost completely out of iron, except the 12 here. I was really worried that I can't make a piston, but the piston in this actually doesn't require an iron ingot. It's just cobble, lumber, a piston extension pole, which I need a bit of igneous alloy for, but not a lot. So a little bit of iron goes in there. Technically you can also use fellerite though. And a brass mechanism. So also no redstone dust. Of course there's still a vanilla recipe, but I don't have access to an iron ingot from vanilla anyway, so just a brass mechanism. Okay, it's a lot cheaper. Good. Alright, so I'm slightly confident that I have all the required materials to do this. So I got enough pistons, rails, material for toolboxes. Just gonna craft those on site. Drills, deployers, chests, and also building blocks and minecarts. And maybe enough redstone blocks, I'm not entirely sure, but 15 to make all of this. Where do we want to build this? I was thinking there was this iron mine really close by where I also tested out the drills for the first time. Maybe that would be a good spot. There we have maybe some space. Let's see. Yeah, so this place here. How deep are we? Why 50? It's not too deep, but I guess it could be worth a try. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 blocks of space. Yeah, that should be actually enough. The machine is actually 7 blocks tall, so 2, 4, 6, 7. I need to make a bit more space. I have to dig away this layer, and then I can build the machine. Just for the drills at the bottom, for the bottom layer, so that the rails will be placed on top of here. Yeah, I need to make a bit of extra space. Okay, so with the steel tools, the pickaxe, that shouldn't be much of a problem anymore. Look how quick this is. It's actually pretty decent now. Maybe something quick and dirty, just to make a bit of space. Let's see if this works. Oh, what? It's all crooked. Oh, what's happening here? Kinda swings a bit. Interesting. For some reason, it really wanted to flip it over to this side here. Can I just pick it up and place it down again, maybe? I was able to get the machine back to the normal position. Let's see. It works better now. Maybe I placed it incorrectly. That must have been it. Okay. Now it's doing what it's supposed to. Just didn't bring enough rails. Gotta replace some in the front then. That actually worked great. I'm almost thinking I should maybe do this again, just 3 blocks lower. Yep, it's working. Okay, machine is taken down. Just gonna dig the last 3 blocks here on the side. I was also looking at the map. I feel actually a bit more relieved that the machine is now lower down. Look at the map. If you go straight south from here, you would hit an ocean. Then some normal terrain again. There would be a river. Then probably more ocean. So I guess that's like already like 1500 blocks. So yeah, don't want to go further than that. But at least we should be able to tunnel under the shallow ocean there. There's also some sort of cave entrance here, and I hear a lot of zombies. I feel actually confident to go exploring a little bit. HP right now is pretty bad, but I got a steel axe now that does 9.6 attack damage. I got some iron armor. Why not risk it? Been a while. Oh, what do we have here? Gravel. That's actually bad news. That's a block that just falls down, I fear. Ooh. If you run into a gravel patch, this might be bad news. Oh, look how deep the vein actually goes. Okay. I brought 26 torches. Should be enough. There's a dead end, right? Yeah. You can go a bit lower. Ah, yeah. And that would be the next step now to go down there. Definitely bad idea to jump down. Can I maybe reach him? Or just collapse stuff on them? I don't know. Just worried mostly about that creeper, to be honest. Zombies are pretty easy, I feel like. 2 hits. Okay, so that creeper. Get a hit in and have a escape route. Easy. Okay, let's see how deep this goes. Very deep. I feel like there's not much worth exploring. I mean, I've seen it in creative. The BK. Oh, they actually need a different weapon. Or is the X good? Skeletons? Yes. 150 health. Creeper. Actually, a huge cave there. The guy has armor. Oh, and they also have, I think that's copper and black bronze. What is this? Not sure what kind of material this is even. Yep, hit the zombie. Good. Huge cave there. So low on health. Can't reach him. Feeding. Guess I could take one more hit. Whoa. Okay. Not that it would be worth it to go down there. I feel like it really isn't. Hey, what did this guy drop? I think that's sulfur. Didn't know creepers dropped it. New recipes unlocked. Okay. Yes, wanted to make a mob farm for quite a while. I guess once the potatoes and soybeans are grown and I can eat better food again, I have like 1200 HP. You could go explore this big cave, but right now I feel like this would be certain death. Just too huge, could get ambushed from everywhere, but yeah, would be interesting maybe. Let's head back and build the machine though. I just realized I definitely don't have enough redstone blocks for this. What could we do? I definitely don't want to use torches, redstone torches instead, because then water would flush them away. What can we do? You removed the other mining machine where I could just mine phyllite and turn it into red sand. I can just go to the beach and mine some pink or red sand, I guess. Good if we actually have the pink sand beaches really close, otherwise it would have been a bit of an issue. But we gotta do something about getting redstone as well. Maybe we should actually dig up some cinnabar ore. I roughly remember the spot where it was, but didn't make an actual waypoint. Okay, let's crush it. 5 stacks, 163, this should be just enough to get enough redstone blocks. So we'll have 32 in total. That sounds about right. So after I had to run back to make a plow, which I forgot earlier. This is actually the intended block to sweep up the rails. Pretty sure I could also use a drill, but I haven't tested this. Yeah, now I can continue building. Unfortunately, no lab medical in this, so it's a bit harder. Just have a screenshot of my second monitor now. Copy it from Creative. There's actually also a limatic cannon or schematic cannon in this, which you can use to print stuff later, which we made in Creative. But it requires gunpowder, so not quite there yet. But it's definitely something I want to try out later. So many zombies, what the hell? And a couple more chests, because why not? So one of the toolboxes, maybe here the one in the corner, I'll set up with the materials that need to be placed over and over again. Hopefully those 10 are enough. Still don't trust it. Okay, then time to glue everything together. That's actually the scariest part. Hope I don't move this up. Okay, so always take sections like this. There we go. Then I gotta glue those chests. This is actually so much easier in Creative as well. Oh my god, it's horrible in survival. Okay, then I wanna glue this whole thing together all the way to the front. Yeah, it's just so annoying because you really need to glue everything together correctly. I goofed this up like half of the time in Creative. Hope I get it right in survival at least. It's also both important to not glue too little and too much, because if I glue too much, then maybe a block that falls down could be picked up by the machine. Stuff like that could happen. So just gonna glue all the blocks I need. For example, I spare out. Yeah, this part here, for example, really important. Okay. I think that should actually be the last of it. I think everything is attached. Okay, so after checking for a couple times if I forgot anything, I want to start it up now. Alright, let's do it. My god. Let's see if any blocks are left behind first. Self-driving card. Okay, got a survival achievement. And I forgot the, the drills. Okay, then I'm gonna break this. Definitely want to pick up the redstone blocks. And yeah, guess I gotta glue on the drills. You gotta be kidding me. Of course this wouldn't be fun at all. Oh man. What did we lose even? Oh. We're looking with the glue. Okay, I gotta replace a couple of things, I feel like. I'm not having a good time at all. Somehow this part of the machine now was left behind. And it doesn't work. If only I had the vanilla machine. Yeah, this whole part was here was left behind somehow. Oh my god. It ran into each other, maybe some blocks actually got replaced. Oh. It's actually also really important to now remove those glue structures. Otherwise a lot of stuff would just stick together and whatnot. Yeah, let's just completely unglue the back part, it's probably the best. The scariest stuff is actually those blocks here. I'm gonna get supports, for sure. At least I can safely mine it now. Don't want anything like collapsing on the machine now, burying half of it. Already stressed enough. But come on now. Got a support here. I feel like it would actually be a good idea to start gluing already while building. Okay, so I put everything back together. So please let this Frankenstein contraption work somehow. Come on. At least that is getting drilled. It's so hard to get an overview. It's so cramped. Guess I'll just wait for mistakes to happen. Oh my god. I actually could mine this stuff. Still going at least. How do I get out of here? Yeah, how do I get out of here? Guess I need to wait for cave entrance. It's getting dark as well here. Oh, there's water somehow? Let's place a torch. I think it wouldn't... Oh, this sounds so scary. This is so much worse in survival than in creative. I can jump on it. I have no idea what's going on. I guess I can only hope it works. All I really can say so far is that we're flying. It hasn't stopped yet. Machine is still moving forward. There's also no raw stone behind. And we're getting raw stone items. Would it actually be a good idea to have like some light blocks on this? I'm not sure if they work. There's definitely some glitchy light going on with the chests always. Hopefully on the way back we won't get attacked by mobs. Kinda made it on the machine now, so you can see a bit what's going on. It looks like it's working. But it also does double placing like in creative. Yeah, that's unavoidable I guess. Quick check how far we've gotten. So we're at the shore now. Going further this way. Let's see if we can actually go through the ocean. Guess that's the exciting part. We're still going. Now we're actually under the ocean here. And I'm also having fun again. This was a bit frustrating to set up, but now the fun is coming back. Oh, I might have created an issue here. So now it looks like should have dug this a little bit deeper. A lot of it is collapsing now. There's tons of stone being left behind. I guess the plan now is just to keep it running. Yeah. Let's see if it survives it. I almost can't believe it, but somehow we made it. It's still going. Okay, so we're about 420 meters away from the initial starting point. And it's still going great. Let's get a bit of light. The only thing I noticed is that a lot of blocks actually get stuck on here. Somehow. I'm wondering if we could actually use something like open fence gates instead. And glue everything together. So then items would just fall through. Might be an idea. Yeah, let's make a bit more light. Apart from that, it's working great. I wonder how much items we already have here. So the plan is actually in the end to just pick up the whole minecart and then maybe close to the base but not inside create a space where we can actually just place the minecart again. Oh, and here we got water again. Okay, so you can get through this. There was just a little bit of cave water, no problem at all. Actually, it's good. Then you can get some water as well to rehydrate. Let's take a look at the map real quick. It's about 500 meters away now. Still going. Chests are not overflowing yet, so if we keep going, we should actually be able to avoid any ocean cave-in again. Alright. Oh, actually, we ran into some issue. Stones are left behind. Okay, time to stop the machine. So I'm just gonna pick it up. Okay. Then, yeah, some blocks are being left behind. Definitely want to pick up piston, not necessarily, but the redstone block. Pistons are cheap, I'm not gonna bother. But the redstone blocks. Okay, so I guess what happened is maybe some of the falling gravel or whatever replaced some part of the machine. I don't know, maybe a piston got struck. Worked for a while at least. I also have an idea how we could maybe improve this already. So this was like version 1. I'm getting better and better at create mod, so I'm figuring more and more stuff out. Just all part of the process. Okay, but now if you look back, we got a cave filled with mobs. Gotta fight our way back there somehow. I mean, that's just free now. They also despawn if they're like 32 blocks away. Okay. Once they get to the ocean, you can just swim up. Okay, I made it home, safe and sound. I guess the first thing I'm gonna do is actually just to crush down all the hematite I got from mining. And this here is actually a really nice amount, probably 400 ingots. And now let's place the minecart contraption again. I think this spot here should be fairly safe. Okay. Maybe the cart assembler as well. Then I can just push it forward. Okay, let's see what happens. Can I even push it? Does it do stuff? Oh, it was actually doing stuff like placing blocks. Okay, but I think it's disassembled. I can check the chests now. Yeah, I feel like those toolboxes are actually nicer than the big chests. So most of them are filled with stone, of course, but we also got a good amount of raw stone. I already saw 2 big stacks of 128, so we got 256 at least. Okay, but of course all of those chests here also have a lot of items in it. Okay. I haven't seen anything too interesting, and as far as I can tell, we didn't run into... Oh, there's a little bit of hematite. Into any veins or stuff like that. It's mostly just desert stone. That's it. Okay, but I'm gonna pick up more... Yeah, of course, the toolboxes first. And craft it into cobble and so on. I'm gonna see how much raw stone I actually got. Because remember, at the beginning, the whole reason we did this was to make raw stone for our basement floor. Okay, the results are in. I got a bit over 700 raw dacite, so that should be enough for my basement floor. Then also got a bit of dacite mossy cobble, but apart from that, nothing really of interest, no gems or ores or whatever. So this was, yeah, all of what I got. Okay, I put all the cobble into the washing system already, and we got an ungodly amount of ores as well. About to crush everything. Let's actually see. Would be surprised if we get more iron from this than... probably not quite, but yeah. Good amount of iron on top. Oh no, I actually wanted to end the episode with a fully finished basement floor, but definitely not nearly enough blocks. The tunnel bore would have needed to run a couple hundred blocks more, but I also just realized that there's a second way that isn't crafting based to get those smooth blocks. You can just, I think I've shown this before, if you have your hammer in the offhand, chisel in the main hand, can click the raw stone blocks and turn them into, yeah, the smooth stone blocks. And then I gotta use the pickaxe to mine them. Obviously it would be way more tedious than the fully automatic tunnel bore once it's built. But yeah. I guess I'm just gonna do this to finish it. That is fine. And at least we learned a lot, so the next tunnel bore I will be way more prepared. Alright, so that's all for today, guys. Hope you appreciate that I didn't end the episode after the creative part and kept going in survival, build it up. But of course, the episode is gonna get long this way. And I think it also became obvious that if I would have tried to design the whole thing in survival, this would have never worked. So it even failed after doing all the work in creative. Yeah, you just usually run into unforeseen issues and it gets mega frustrating. So I definitely want to keep doing the series. That's why stuff like this has to be done in creative. Alright, thanks guys for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.